To almost every human culture, apart from the developed world, horses are just built into the economy. The economy grinds to a halt without horses.
They're the transportation, they're the crop carrier. A lot of the communities where we work, they're carrying the milk, or they're carrying the water from the well. Honduras, it's the firewood.
The veterinarians in the world are treating our pets and our sport horses, and they're not necessarily in the most rural and often impoverished areas treating the animals that are actually making a lot of the world economy go round.
We started the Equitarian Initiative with a partner in Mexico. And to get to any of these countries, you have to obey the laws of the country going in, and a lot of them have very strict import requirements.
Countries differ a lot. Like, for instance, in Peru, everything is totally legit. In contrast to that, when we go to Guatemala, you kind of talk your way past the customs guy, and every once in a while you have to pay a bribe. You know, it's like a much more informal procedure, but on the other hand, if you want to work in Guatemala, that's how it's going to work.
Seeing animals in the conditions we see them down there, at home you would say, well, that's cruel. Down here you say that's reality.
They don't have a vet presence, so they take it upon themselves to do a lot of their own care, and they're self-taught.
They are learning to care for them better, but we are also learning their challenges.
One of the problems with working horse populations in general worldwide is that they're owned by people who themselves have extremely difficult lives.
If an owner shows up with hardly any shoes, then it's very hard to expect the animal to have shoes itself, or dental care, or vaccinations.
And we can come and band-aid this, but that's not really the issue, right? They're being impacted by climate change, they're being impacted by water. Pastures are degraded, the animals don't have enough to eat. The complicated relationships that exist with the tourism industry and the people. When you start really scratching at the surface, you realize that there are all these nuances that make it much more complicated.
You're working on animals that control the destiny of the family that owns them. You can't be unchanged by this work.
Even though you might not feel like you saved the world, you might start to feel like at least you're doing your part.
You know, I'm actually making a difference. A big difference, you know, a huge difference, and that's pretty powerful.
This isn't an issue that you have to convince people to care about. You just have to tell the story.